Hey everybody, it's Stephanie Davis and I am in Charleston, South Carolina. I am a realtor and broker associate with the Boulevard Company based out of Mount Pleasant and downtown Charleston. I'm so glad that you tuned in today. I am getting started on some video series. I haven't added these to my YouTube channel for several years. I think it's been 10 or 11 years, maybe it was 2010 that I did a little series of helping buyers and one helping sellers, but I want to get back into it. So today I'm going to cover the 5 things to look for when you're hiring a listing agent. So there's going to be 5 things and stay tuned for those. But the reason I want to talk about these things today is because we are in an unprecedented real estate market with the combination of low inventory and low interest rates. It is difficult right now to find listings, and that means there are going to be a lot of agents clamoring to list your house. There's going to be a lot of new agents coming into the market because TV and social media has made it look really glamorous to be a real estate agent, but they don't show you what's behind the scenes. So let's jump right into it and talk about the 5 things that you should look for when you're hiring a listing agent. Number 1, I actually covered yesterday briefly on my Instagram story and IGTV. I had received a phone call from one of my sellers who was at the end of his rope and ready to throw in the towel. We are just a few weeks away from closing, and I know that tension can be high, stress levels can be high. So I picked up the phone when I received his text message and talked him down off the ledge. Just encouraged him to stay in the game. So the number 1 point is that you need to find a listing agent who is personable, who is steady, and who is calm. Someone who's not going to freak out when you're freaking out. Someone who's not going to take the bait when another agent or a vendor creates drama. Someone who knows when to put a pin in it, so to speak, and continue the conversation on another day when tensions are not so high. So that's number 1. Look for an agent who is calm. Number 2, you want to look for an agent who has experience. And maybe this goes without saying, but selling and buying real estate, again, is stressful, or it can be. So you need someone who has been there, done that, and has the answers. Someone who can anticipate the problems that might be coming up and put those fires out before they ever catch hold. So experience gives that to an agent. Now after 14 years of doing real estate, I still run into things that are happening for the first time that I haven't experienced before. But usually when I draw on something else that happened in the past that may be similar or give me clues, I can solve problems a little faster than someone who is doing this for the first time. So number 2, look for someone with experience. Number 3, marketing and market knowledge. So in this fast-moving seller's market, it may be tempting to hire someone who's going to put a sign in the yard and put your house on MLS because it's going to sell quickly, right? Well, if you're going to do that, you may as well use forsalebyowner.com or Zillow.com because so many buyers are using those sites. But the value in hiring a listing agent who is experienced and calm and has a marketing plan and market knowledge is that that agent is going to have a strategy for you, and it's going to be unique to your property, in your neighborhood, in your part of town. So you want someone who's paying attention to national trends and understands if the inventory is climbing or if it's going down, what's happening with new construction, what's happening with interest rates, like I mentioned before. All of these things, employment trends, what are the big employers coming to town? Is there talk or risk of big employers shutting down? Could that potentially lead to a spike in housing inventory? So someone who understands the market both on a grand scale and then your micro market in your neighborhood. Very important. Someone who has, I guess, an elaborate marketing plan also helps, because again, just putting a sign in the yard isn't going to do it. Just putting it on MLS isn't going to do it. You need someone who's going to reach out to buyers and be proactive through social media, newsletters, phone calls, and other ways. So keep that in mind. Also, there's the pricing strategy. So are you going to be aggressive? Are you going to be conservative? What's your time frame? All of those things play into the strategy that your listing agent should be creating specifically for your house. So point number 4, hire someone who's reliable. Reliability builds trust. And if something comes up in your transaction that makes you really nervous, or you think it's all going to fall apart and you really need this person's advice to move forward, you want to make sure that you're working with someone you trust. Someone who does what they say they're going to do, someone who can predict things that may make you nervous to give you a heads up so that you can prepare. It's very important to get someone who's reliable and that you can trust when they are selling your house for you. And then number 5, I would encourage you to hire someone who is a full-time agent. As I said, there are a lot of agents coming into the market now who are new, inexperienced, and part-time, because real estate is a commission-only industry, at least for most of us. Some people, it's not uncommon for them to start out as a part-time agent. And once they get their business rolling and they get steady income, then they may quit or phase out of their main job or second job. I would encourage you to hire someone who's full-time, because they're going to be accessible to you full-time. You're not going to have to work around their second job work schedule, which means they're also going to be accessible to other agents and other buyers. And they're going to be accessible when inspections need to be done and deadlines need to be met. They can meet people at your house for you while you continue working your full-time job. The other thing I would say about that is a part-time agent is not going to be in and out of as many houses as a full-time agent. So it takes a lot of footwork to get in and out of houses, to understand pricing and how quickly things are moving. And one part of town may be selling very quickly, but another part of town may not be selling quickly. And a part-time agent just may not have their pulse on the market and what exactly is happening. So those are the 5 things that I would say you should look for in a listing agent. Number 1, someone who's personable and calm. Number 2, someone with experience. Number 3, someone with a market plan and market knowledge. Number 4, someone who's reliable and trustworthy. And then number 5, make sure you're hiring a full-time agent. Well, I hope these tips were helpful and that you feel confident when you're interviewing agents that you can pick the right one. And if you're in Charleston, South Carolina, please give me a call. I'm Stephanie Davis with the Boulevard Company. My number is 843-870-0890. If you like this video, give me a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, and I'm glad you tuned in. I will see you again soon.